Hello, everybody. I'm based out of India, so I'm having 20 plus years of experience in the IT industry, developing various CAD, CAM, CAE simulation solutions as well as the products. So, along with me, my colleague Navya is also here. So, maybe Navya, you can introduce quickly.
Hello everyone. I have worked on various digital twin applications. Yes,
Yeah, so uh, today we are going to cover one of the interesting aspect where we all are knowing a kind of a digital twin, which is emerging uh, technology as well as the phenomenon, but how it can be leveraged for having the effective supply chain management. That we are going to showcase in this webinar. And one of the use case which we took is from the pharmaceutical industry for one leading US-based customer. We developed the pilot for it. So quick, yeah, if you click on the next slide. So quick glance on our organization. So HCLTech, it is one of the largest IT service provider, and we are having a presence and operations across the various countries, 60 plus countries, and we are having a very strong force around 223K plus HCL techs around the world, and we are catering the different needs of various customers with our IP solutions, accelerator, as well as the innovation. And yeah, next slide, please. So, myself and Avya, we are a part of ERS organization, where we basically focus on the engineering and R&D services. So within this organization, our key focus is on the product engineering, where we can do various product portfolio management as well as their GTM acceleration. Then digital engineering is one of the tower, and then the third is into the digital manufacturing, where we can do a plant automation, smart factory, then the digital twin thread. And all these things we are getting equipped with all these latest technologies like AI, Gen AI, those kind of thing. And yeah, means we are, when it comes to the engineering space, we are the leader in this space when it comes to the engineering as well as the simulation domain from the software services point of view. So yeah, next slide, Navya. So today we are going to cover the outline is that we'll cover on the industry trends in the supply chain, then what is our point of view in the digital twin, then what are the different use cases in the pharma world, and how we have devised the framework, digital twin framework using AnyLogic, so which is one of the powerful tool, and where it is enabling us to do a various kind of simulation as well as what if scenario things. And then we are going to showcase the demo of our solution and followed by the conclusion. So yeah, when we come to the industry trends, we know that many industries and the organization, they are adopting the digital transformation. It is there in their vision. And while doing that kind of adoption, there are multiple trends which we observe when it comes to the supply chain. So many industries, especially the OEMs, manufacturer, or even a supplier, they see the end-to-end supply chain visibility so that they can do a better monitoring control of these things. And even it helps to build the resilient supply chain. Like there could be the multiple aspects where the supply chain disruptions can happen, like the environmental or any calamities or any kind of reason. So what is a kind of remedial solution or the best recovery path for that supply? that is what the industries are looking the innovative solution. And another aspect is that while doing this thing, we also need to consider the sustainability aspect. Like while I'm doing this supply chain from the multiple suppliers or this entire upstream, downstream supply chain thing, so I also need to minimize the carbon footprint, energy consumption. So these are the more on the operational side, but on the right side, you can see the trends are that there is an increased adoption of the IoT-based solution. Like nowadays, the real-time data it is getting available from the IoT devices or multiple systems. And even with the emergence of AI ML-based thing, we can have the more accurate prediction as well as the demand forecasting. And all these things can be embedded into the digital twin so that I can have the virtual replica of the entire process so that I can do the what if scenario analysis. And that is how we see the digital twin plays the key role. So next slide. So where we are going to show you our point of view on the digital twin. So the digital twin, we know that it connects the physical and the digital world together. So you can see this on the top, the right side physical and the left side is my digital world. So I'm having the behavior, the physical behavior that I am actually kind of mapping with my digital behavior so that it is giving me a kind of real life experience and so that I can enrich this digital model. I can retrain the model based on the data I'm getting from the physical system. Now, when it is coming to the digital twin, based on the use cases or the type of problem, there are different types of the twins, like the product twin, asset twin, process or the plant twin, and the infrastructure twin. So for this particular webinar, we are focusing on the process twin, which where we can represent the supply chain process. And one of the key entity of the supply chain is the manufacturing plant. So that's where the plant twin it is in coming into the picture. So next slide, if you can click through. So typically in a pharma industry, this is how the supply chain process evolves. We know that the raw material we receive from the multiple suppliers, and that raw material then we it comes to the production unit where I do the processing, and then finally my the final product is getting built, that medicines and those things. And later on, then I need to actually dispatch it to the distributors and then the subsequently to the retailers, like it could be the hospital, pharmacy, and finally to the patient and the customer. Now, you can see that this appears to be the simple, but it involves a lot of complexity. And considering the healthcare domain, it has a direct impact on the patient or even the health of the people. That is how the need arises that how can we ensure the seamless supply right from the raw material to the medicines, and can it be represented through the digital twin so that if any kind of disruption is happening within this supply chain, my digital twin should able to suggest you the best option so that one can take the intelligent decisions based on the data available with him as well as the any historical events happened so far. And with that idea, we have devised the digital twin powered by AnyLogic. So just to quickly visit the spectrum of the use cases on the next slide, where in the pharma industry, we see that there are multiple use cases comes like we can do the especially in the manufacturing domain, we can optimize the entire process so that I can do the process planning, scheduling, even I can do optimize my batch production, how is the quality of my product, as well as if there are any bottlenecks within that process, then the digital twin helps to identify those bottlenecks. And the next segment is the supply chain and the logistics. So that I can simulate the material inbound, outbound flow, as well as do the effective shipment tracking, as well as wherever possible, I can actually find out the best route, or if any kind of disruption, then I should able to reroute those things. And finally, it also should able to comply with the sustainability, safety measures, and the other things. So we are going to cover these three segments primarily. There are other segments also which we are catering to, like the clinical trials as well as the patient care. How can we offer the various smart services to the patient as well as the healthcare domain? Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so this is, as I briefed, we have a unique solution, which we call it as a supply chain digital twin solution. And within this solution, AnyLogic plays the one of the critical component or a block for us. And that is how this architecture which we have devised. So I request my colleague Navya to brief you about this framework and the architecture.
Yeah, so in this framework, on the right-hand side, we can see that we have the data from the supply chain, which is collected from sources like inventory and logistics operations. All of this data is then ingested into the IoT platform through Azure Hub. And every physical element in this supply chain, whether it is a supplier, warehouse, truck, or any distribution center, is represented in a digital twin graph so that each node can be monitored in a real-time data. So this data is then stored in data lakes and databases, which will ensure both the real-time and historical data available for the simulation and data analytics, which will help us to generate insights. And for the user, the output finally comes through a digital twin app, which can be accessed on a web or mobile. Here, one can view the real-time dashboards and receive alerts and also notifications, and also one can see the 3D visualizations of the supply chain and also demand and supply forecast. So now the one of the key components of this framework is the simulation layer powered by AnyLogic. In this layer, we are using agent-based modeling, discrete event simulation, system dynamics, which will help us model high-level, long-term, and any strategic factors like any demand growth, inventory replenishment, and capacity expansion decisions. So to build these models, we are leveraging AnyLogic specialized libraries such as the process modeling libraries, which is for the workflows, and the material handling libraries for the warehouse and logistic processes. And we are also using the leveraging the dashboarding capabilities to visualize KPIs directly within the simulations. So with this approaches, we are developing the AnyLogic supply chain simulation model. So in this model, like we are using the hybrid modeling approach, which is combining both the agent-based modeling and discrete event modeling. It will capture both the dynamic interactions between entities and the structured flow process of the supply chain. On the left-hand side, we have the agent-based modelings, which will represent each supply chain entities, such as the pharma industries, distributors, retailers, or any vehicles as independent agents. Their behaviors are defined through state charts. For example, any trucks moving or loading or unloading. This approach will capture the decentralized decision-making models and demand generation, and also with respect to the adaptive responses. And through discrete event modeling, we are representing processes like order handling, queuing, loading, and delivery, and inventory tracking as structured flows. Here, the production and distribution are captured through process flowcharts, and product movement is modeled as discrete events. And we can also measure KPIs in a structured manner. By integrating these two methods, the hybrid approach will give us the autonomy and adaptability of agents along with the efficiency and measurability of discrete processes. This will result in a realistic end-to-end representation of supply chain dynamics, helping us to analyze any disruptions, optimize flows, and provide us actionable insights. We have developed this supply chain model for a US-based company to demonstrate the AnyLogic capabilities. Let me quickly share the demo. So in this model, we are representing the end-to-end pharmaceutical supply chain on a geospatial map, where each object will correspond to real-world stakeholders. Here in this legend, we can see what each entity represents to. Like these blue objects will be the suppliers, pharma industries, distributors accordingly. And here, the suppliers will transport the raw materials to the pharma industries. And then we will simulate the internal processes of the pharma industries over here. So here we will have all the processes required. Once the raw materials, so once we have all the ingredients required, then they will be thoroughly tested for quality and compliance. And once they are approved, they will be moved to compounding process. Here, all the ingredients will be mixed and sent to the next further process. So next, in this filling section, all the compounds is shaped into tablets, capsules, or any liquid batches. Next, to ensure the safety and stability of the products, they will undergo through drying and sterilization under controlled conditions. Then once the products are available, they will be packaged and labeled. Then here we have the dashboard view of the particular industry to analyze its operations in detail. Here the details section provides the basic information such as the location of the site, current storage capacity, the number of products in the stock, and the pending orders. Alongside with this, we are also ensuring medicine stability. And the power consumption panel breaks down the heating, EV charge, refrigeration, and lighting used. So here we have all of the quantities of the products ordered for each products in detail. And we can also see the maintenance and quality section highlights any disruptions, delays, or failures in the production line, ensuring the reliability of the output. So in the pharma industry, one of the critical aspects we need to measure is how effectively our equipment is performing. So for this, we are using a standard metric called OEE, overall equipment effectiveness. In our model, we have predicted OEE using Python pipeline library by AnyLogic, specifically for the manufacturing equipment used in production. This could include mixing machines, filling lines, or any packaging equipment that processes and prepares the pharmaceutical products. So OEE is made up of three key components: availability, performance, and quality. Availability tells us how much time the equipment was actually running compared to the total scheduled time. And the performance measures how fast the equipment is running compared to its design speed. And the quality will tell us the proportion of good products out of the total products produced. And here in this metrics, production metrics, we can see the number of units produced per hour, throughput achieved, and also the rate of detective versus the overall products. So this OEE dashboard enables not only real-time monitoring, but also predictive insights and tell how well our production equipment is being utilized. And it helps us identify whether the biggest losses are coming from the downtime, slow running, or quality issues. So once the pharmaceuticals are packaged, they are dispatched from the industry to the distributors using delivery vehicles. So in this distributor dashboard, we can see the whole operational picture. In the detail section, we can see the distributor name, location, storage capacity, the list of orders. And also here on the right hand side here, that we can also see the recent orders panel, which will show us the real time updates on the product names, retailers, and the status of the product, whether it is in progress or confirmed. And we also have the similar maintenance and lost unit cases checks for all the products. So finally, from distributors, the orders are then transported further downstream to retailers. It can be either hospitals, as we can see here, or pharmacies. At the retailer dashboard, we again have the details of the basic details of all the retailer names, location, storage capacity, and also the quantity of products received chart, which will show all the incoming stock of each product delivered. And from here, we can deliver the products to end consumers, which can be patients or anything. So through this model, we are visualizing the end-to-end pharmaceutical supply chain from the raw material processing to the end consumers wholly.
Yeah,
Over
thanks,
to you.
Navya. So, as you might have seen, so this is how the end-to-end view which we are showcasing, and it also we are seeing that it could give very substantial benefits so that we can improve the existing supply chain and we can improve the resilience as well as have a better visibility with the kind of a data which is available. Even it also optimize the logistic cost involved because it will suggest the best route as well as how much the cost involved. Also, it will consider how much the pollution it is contributing or kind of sustainability aspects, which will be one of the key factor for various manufacturers, suppliers. And another key thing with AI, ML, Gen AI things, we can actually analyze the pattern and it helps to take intelligent decisions as well as down the line, even it can do auto-corrective action as well as the self-healing for any kind of disruptions. So these are the benefits and coming to the conclusion. So we feel that while devising this digital twin and its implementation for supply chain, AnyLogic plays the key role. And what we observed based on our so far experience, that this hybrid modeling approach actually best serve our need because it combines the strength of both the methods, like the autonomous behavior, adaptability of the agents, and even the process efficiency of the discrete events and the flows. And that is how we see that it is giving a very wonderful result where we can have the realistic representation of this entire supply chain, can do the real-time monitoring, even we can have the high fidelity view of my inbound, outbound material flow as well. And one of the key thing is that we see that this particular solution, it is not only applicable for the pharmaceutical thing, even it is applicable for the other industry as well as the other use case. And that is how we believe that this digital twin powered by AnyLogic is scalable for the other industries and domain. So yeah, means while concluding this thing, I would like to thank AnyLogic Conference Committee for giving us this opportunity to present, as well as my superiors within the HCL Technologies for supporting and encouraging us while devising this solution.